Hey there. So, I have been asked about outsourcing and what things we should not be outsourcing as small business owners. So, I'm going to answer that from a finance perspective because that's what I do. And finance is one of those things that we tend to outsource as soon as possible, right? Because it's the thing that we're like, I'm not so comfortable with this. It's really important, and I just don't want to spend a bunch of time doing it. Like, no, thank you. I'll hire somebody else to do it. And I do think there's a good argument for outsourcing your finance department. That's what I do. So obviously, I think it's a good idea. I think in the beginning, it's a good idea as a small business owner to do your own finance work, so bookkeeping, that kind of thing. Not taxes necessarily, because taxes are quite a bit more complex than bookkeeping, but certainly bookkeeping with the help of a professional to coach and support you. There does come a time when it doesn't make sense for you to do that anymore. So then we need to start talking about outsourcing. And what are the things that you should never outsource? So I think the number one thing to not outsource when you're talking about your finance department, and I say department, but I really just mean all of the finance jobs that you have to do. So actual money movement. Do not outsource people like moving your money around. You don't want anybody to have access to your bank account except you. If you have like a joint account with somebody because like they're a business partner, then that's a whole other thing. But don't outsource that piece. Don't allow people to control your money. Having said that, there are ways to allow an accountant or a bookkeeper or something to pay bills on your behalf, and you can set it up so that you just approve it and it all runs through a third party. And there are ways to be able to outsource accounts payable and accounts receivable, but don't ever let somebody into your bank account. The second big thing in terms of not outsourcing is the budgeting and forecasting job. I think it's really important for you as a small business owner to be able to do your own budgeting. And not just that you're able to do it, but that you have a really detailed and involved role in it, because it's your budget, it's your goals and intentions for the company, and it's really it's about what you want from the company and how you want to be supported from a financial perspective as you achieve your goals. So if you outsource that to somebody else, you're never going to get a budget that really reflects where the company's going, where it's been, and it's not a good thing to outsource. That really needs to be, you can certainly outsource support, so having somebody help you. I talked about budgeting yesterday, and that I like to help clients with their budgets, and I like to support them in creating their budget. I don't ever create a budget for you. I help you to I facilitate your creation of your own budget. The third thing is investing, where you want to put your money. I do think it's a good idea to get financial advice, so not trying to do this all on your own, but making those choices, again, that it kind of goes back to budgeting and to money movement in a sense, where any time that you're talking about a strategy or big picture CEO level decisions, you definitely don't want to outsource those. Those are things that you need to make for your decisions that you need to make for your business, so that everything is aligned, right? That all of that finance supports the goals of the company, and that you don't have competing goals, right? So if you hire somebody in finance to do your budgeting or investing or some sort of strategy piece, then they might end up creating a strategy or a budget or something like that that is in the best interests of the finance part of your business, but that might not be the best for the business as a whole. So I think anytime that you're making big strategic decisions and it has to do with your money, that is not something you want to be outsourcing. The great things to be outsourcing are bookkeeping, because it's a lot of data entry, that kind of thing. Hi, Dave. Hello to your wife as well. I think that the data entry pieces and the really complex, like taxes, that kind of thing, anytime that you need to actually execute on something, that's a good place to outsource. So big strategic overview, those decisions, I don't outsource those. Outsource the execution of whatever your strategy and your plan is, and hire the right professionals or the right person to fill the role in order to execute that. Because it's not about learning how to do everything, it's about hiring the person who does know how to do that thing so that you can move the needle on your goals a lot faster than just trying to learn everything yourself. So those are my top 3 do not outsource jobs: moving your money around, actually touching cash, budgeting / forecasting, and your investing. So basically anything strategic. I'd love to know what your feelings on outsourcing is. What is the number one thing that you would never outsource in your business? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you tomorrow.